All right. Hello, Instagram. It's been a little bit of a minute, I guess, as far as me doing a formal live. I've been somewhat a little bit withdrawn from visual or from vlogging on social media. Definitely have been lacking on my YouTube, and I tend to get back up and running on that. A lot of things have been happening behind the scenes that is needing my attention. So I've been investing my attention in that, my resources in that, my time into that. I pressed a little bit too hard and fast, just coming down from something. Let me tell you that zinc is powerful. Copper is better. I think zinc is a copper ally. If you feel something, going on in your immune system, as far as you might be coming down something sick, sore throat, coughing, whatever, definitely hit it with some with zinc. All right. And be diligent on it, and it will knock that thing out. It will knock that thing out. So, under great anticipation and great expectation, for years, literally for years, since I started doing kind of opening up, I should say, my apprenticeship to the public, they've been gaining demand. And it hasn't been from me blabbering on about it. It has been from those who've gone through my apprenticeship, and not even about them blabbering on about it, but how their work has transformed their customers, their clients, their metron, their audience begins to ask them. You went away for a while and came back with all of this, and much like, was it Luke chapter 4? I think Jesus went into the wilderness and he returned in the power of the Spirit. So this is my apprenticeship. It's very, very different. So I need to explain it to you. I need you to be able to ask questions so we can get some clarity and some understanding on things, because it's different. All right. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. All right. Notarians are known for their directness and straightforwardness. It is the cost. Look, I'm not going to sit there and act like, oh, we just giving these things away. No, we're not. Okay. The cost. All right. Let's talk about the money. Okay. The money portion is $121 monthly. That is a month. That would be due by the 21st of every month. That's part of the tuition, or that is the tuition rather, of the apprenticeship. All right. That's all right. Out of the way. So again, that's $121 monthly. All right. It is due by the 21st. All right. If there's something that comes up and I've not been made known of it by the 25th, access will be revoked. Okay. I take my apprenticeships probably too seriously. I don't take myself seriously enough, but I take my apprenticeship very serious, too serious. So that's number one. Number two, how does the apprenticeship process work? Okay. How does the apprenticeship process work? It works like this. You submit an entrance letter. We have a form you can fill out on the link in my bio. It'll say apprenticeship 2020 sign up or something like something like that. You submit an entrance letter. Basically, no, really, you just fill out the form. Basically, I did entrance letter before, and I just made it standardized. You fill out the form. I get the form. All right. Once a week, I go and collect these forms, and I go and look over them. I don't know these people mostly from cans of paints on the wall from Adam's House Cat. And based upon the answers, I'd say, okay, yeah, I'm feeling this person. I'm not feeling that person. Again, nothing personal going on there. And so I separate those piles out from jump. All right. So I do the first separation. All right. Whatever I feel, whether you want to call it intuition or my discernment, whatever you want to call it. Okay. I separate those people out. All right. Now, after the first separation, okay. When the time comes, I've closed apprenticeship, and I'll get to how many I'm going to choose in a minute. And this is where everybody starts shaking in their boots, right? hell, I start checking my boots too, because it'd be a journal for everybody. I go before my shrines, all right, and I consult with my spirits through 4 different means of divination. Okay, and they tell me a yes, a no, a no. All right, and as Jesus said, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. So if it's a yes, it's a yes. If it's a no, I don't ask questions. I don't say, well, why they can't be in it. Did they do something wrong? What can we do to remediate? I don't go into any of that. All right. So they have the final say. All right. So at the end of the day, 3 parties have agreed to this. Number 1, you and your spirits have agreed. Everything's something that I'm doing here that you want to access. All right. Your spirits are in agreement with you. So, okay, I want to, be in that apprenticeship. All right, great. So that party is settled. Number 2, I look over the initial application. All right. And I feel like I'm in agreement with you. Yeah, by all means. Okay. And then thirdly, the spirits of the house that my house sits on, my spiritual shrines, all right, my spiritual court, gives the last say so. They get the ultimate veto. All right. So therefore, all appropriate bodies, all appropriate parties are in agreement and in alignment. Okay. So that's how the process works. Of course, that also entails prerequisites, the tuition. All right. So that's the process. We covered tuition. We've covered the process of that. What is required from you beyond that in this apprenticeship? Number 1, your time and your due diligence. I take my apprenticeships very seriously. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there are 3 tiers of apprenticeships. You can call them level 1, level 2, level 3. You can call them year 1, year 2, year 3. However you want to figure it out. But the ultimate goal, in my mind, in my eye, of an apprentice, beyond a student or somebody who knows me from my work or whatever, is that at the end of it all, you should be able to do what I do, up to and including and to the extent of, if I'm booked with cases, I can refer somebody to you in full confidence that you can rise to the occasion, because I trained you myself. And I put that seal of approval behind everything I put my hands to. Otherwise, I won't touch it. I won't touch it. Okay? You can search me out, high, low, wherever. My name is good. My brand is good. My character is good. All right? What can you expect in the apprenticeship? My first batch of folks got it the hardest. Simply because, if you don't know, I come from the holiness apostolic tradition. And so we don't mind being in church hours only, not getting out till 2 o'clock in the morning easy. That's a light night. You might be leaving there, hopping the shot and going on to work. And so there would literally be hours upon hours of dense content being digested, being maturated. All right. You need to bring a couple of pens and a couple of notebooks. I'm just telling you now. If you've ever watched any of my videos for free, maybe you bought a ticket to a webinar I've done, all right, I'm not speaking amiss. All right, my mouth is always full. So it's a lot of content. It's a lot of content. Again, because the idea is, in the span of this apprenticeship, you should be able to do what I do with a level of proficiency. All right. It is a weekly session. They're on Wednesdays, Wednesday evenings. around about 7 or so Eastern Standard Time. All right. Number 2, the sessions are recorded, so you can go back and review it. Number 3, there is a student forum that goes on 24/7. So if you couldn't get to class, or you were in class, you can't get to me, or whatever the case may be, there's always somebody up somewhere, all right, whether they are alumni of my apprenticeship or they're also your peers in the apprenticeship, you can begin to banter with, you can exchange with, you can drop some ideas off of, you can study together, and so on and so forth. All right. That's going on 24 hours a day. Even now, I'm seeing them being back and forth right now. Fourthly, all right, every month there is an hour check-in with me personally. So not only is there a class setting, all right, there's also a monthly hour setting. All right, we dedicate time, you and I, one-on-one, all right, to make sure that you are, as the scripture says, coming behind in no good gift. All right. Number 5. If you're a level 1, it's pretty fine. But you start getting, if you want to keep progressing, level 2, level 3, then you're going to have to come here by some kind of means. Fly here on a broom, teleport here, come here by train, however you want to do it. We have feast here 4 times a year. All right, because spiritual people need to be in community. All right. Also, there's just certain things I can't teach you, I can't show you, I can't express to you by way of a digital format. That's not how I received it. Some stuff, yes, but you come to a point where you have to be in a certain environment, a certain atmosphere. All right. Things are attached to atmospheres. All right. And you have to see how I work in an intimate setting, face to face. All right. I don't show everything online. I don't even show everything in class. All right. So you get to come and observe. Normally people take off a weekend. We need to be here at least the day of the feast. All right. You come. We eat. All right. I wash your feet. You have an issue with that? That's not for you. I'm very, very old school. All right. The scripture speaks plain. A teacher is not above his student. And the greatest of you should serve. Jesus washed his disciples' feet, and he said to them, by this will men know that you are my disciples. I take that seriously. So yes, I wash my students' feet. And that's old school. Like, people do foot washing, and that's old school. You can't find that in a book, can you? There's no YouTube Hoodoo for foot washing, is there? There's no book on it, is there? Yeah, I know. Is that old school? God bless you, John Theory. Come. We eat. We talk. We impart. We prophesy. We minister to you direct, face to face. Okay? Because everything that I do can't be caught on a video or even a text message. That's not how I receive what I have. Some of what I have, I receive by direct impartation. Somebody laid their hands on my head and downloaded things to me supernaturally. You want to know the secret sauce to Doc? That's the secret sauce. Okay? So, what are we going to cover in the apprenticeship? Again, everything that you're going to need to know and be proficient in to, like I said, to do what I do at a level of proficiency. Number 5, yes, there are assignments and homework. This is not Sunday school where you just age up because you pay the money every month. You know, you're going to be drilled. You're going to be questioned. You're going to be reproved. You're going to be rebuked oftentimes. You're going to be corrected. You have an issue with that? Don't apply. Don't waste your time. All right? Because if you think doc is hard, imagine when you get into the real world, you got clients. Any spiritual practitioner will tell you, clients ain't no joke. All right. It is written that you might be able to give an answer of the hope that lies within you to everyone. So, obviously, I'm a Bible-based conjurer. If you don't know that by now, you don't have 2 working years. So that turns you off. It's definitely not for you. I cast out demons. I speak in tongues. I make baths. I light candles. I throw powders. All right, it's all together. It's all together. All right. So if anything you've ever seen me do, like, well, I want to learn to do that. Yes, it's going to be a part of the apprenticeship. All right. So did I cover all my bases? I think my T is in here. But to make sure I covered all my bases. Weekly, Wednesday. You need to dedicate at least 2 to 4 hours weekly. It's an intensive. It's an intensive. It's a lot to cover, and we normally go between 7 to 10 months at a time before we break. It's just that intense. There's a lot to cover. We got to pick you up to speed. There's a lot to cover. So at first I didn't think this model was going to work, but the Spirit's breathed upon it, and I'm seeing the fruit of my labor. My work speaks for itself. My students speak for themselves. All right. What I'm very blessed to be able to do is learn from my students. I think that's the greatest blessing of any teacher, to learn from your students. Number 2, what also just makes me melt is when there are other people who are workers themselves who come and they come to be enriched. All right. I get that. I get a few that come in and they say my work has anywhere between double or triple in efficiency and in results going through this. I've had people who no longer like me, who are one of my students, and they still will tell you. They will still tell you, I'm proud to say Doc was my teacher, and I am, I know how to do this because I went to that class. I don't like that nigga, but he know his shit. That's what they'll tell you. That's what they'll tell you. I can live with that. Their TARs can live with that. Cover homework and assignments, such as you're gonna have to do a certain amount of readings. You have to make a certain amount of mojo bags, a certain amount of baths and lamps and so on. You have to show proficiency. So the apprenticeship is available. Go ahead and get your applications in. Now that's what I was going to say. Thank you. Only 9 this year, because you have to understand the reason why I didn't do this last year is because I still had apprentices that were still in their tiers. Yeah, the time had elapsed, sure, but they had not come up to the level of proficiency that I was expecting. So couldn't take any more students because I make sure that I invest that time again, because it's gonna have my name on it after a while. And as long as they are dedicated, to growing, I'm gonna meet them where they are. Right. So that's one of the major reasons why I didn't open up apprenticeship last year, because I said students who were not at graduate level. So those of you who follow me know that every year, the 21st of the month, the 21st of the year, January 21st, and the first 21 days are very sacred to me, my tradition, my spiritual house, all of that. On that 21st day, We give the offerings, the sacrifices, propitiations, the petitions, so on and so forth. The major divinations of the year. Okay. We strengthen the house foundation, and so on and so forth. We renew covenants and contracts. We dismiss works on the 21st of the month that are no longer necessary, so on and so forth. So part of that is, can I take on apprentice this year? All right. And the answer was yes. All right. I had licensure to do that. It was going to be 9 students. All right. However, the breakdown, this is how I got in the spirit, because, well, I'll just say what happened. Is 9 of them, 7 of them can be online, but 2 of them are going to have to be in person. So it's going to be somebody in the local area, evidently, or somebody who don't mind the commute weekly in the local area. So if you're not local, then you'll probably fit in that 7 category. So yeah, so that's what I want to say about that. I will open it up now for questions about anything I've said, or any questions you may have about the apprenticeships. All right, let me say wave at everybody here. Wave, 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 wave. No, that's the door. Okay, wave, wave. Man, I don't have enough hands to wave at all of y'all. Wave. I gotta start waving with both hands at the same time, you know. Wave. Wave. Maybe I can just get the peace sign. I can get about 2 peace signs per hand, you know. That way I can give you peace 4 at a time. See. All right, wave. Wave. All right. Okay. Exactly located where? So I am in the city of Columbia, the metro. Soda City. All right. In the wicked state of South Carolina. Yes. It can last. Yes, that first tier is going to be anywhere between 7 to 10 months, because last year we didn't break until October. Yeah, we broke in October for the off season. Yeah, October, November. You know, because I try to do that because that's a holiday. All right. So, you know, that's when the holidays start coming, around about the middle of October, whatever. So we had our last class by the middle of October, which is the 10th month. And, of course, we resumed 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so when I first did my digital or online or whatever apprenticeship, somebody, pretty sure he looks like me, those who know exactly what I mean, decided to comment under my video about how much I was charging and this, that, and the other. And that thing really had me stirred. Yeah, it's an intensive. I mean that wholeheartedly. It is not for the faint. This is not I ain't scared no. This ain't not no Cat Irons Wood correspondence course. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not. My first lesson was, you know, more is gonna be caught than taught. Okay, so I encourage you, any of you, ask any of my current students, any of my past students, hit them up, catfishing. Don't let them know who you are. You know, just ask. You know, is it really like this? Do your own research. All right. I do recommend that if this is your first time hearing about this, that before you jump into this, go back and look at some of my other content. Make sure that you even get kind of a feel, a vibe. All right. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Okay. But everybody like a little bit black coffee, you know. But you know, anyway, and that's fine, right? That's fine. So they mentioned that, and the way they went about it was quite malicious. You're like, who are you? And you're trying to sell us back our traditions and this, that, and the other kind of thing. I mean, they just went off on a tirade or whatever. And that thing had me stirring. It had me stirring. It did. It did. It really, 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 really did. I think that thing stirred in me for just shy of a month. It really did. And what the Holy Spirit had to put my eyes on is this. I can have a short memory. But there is so much of my content out for free to hold the light as archives. I've got over 500, not 50, not 100, 500 videos free of charge. If you pay your internet or your mobile on Periscope, for example, 500. So where I got my internet start was on Periscope about four years ago. Theater was there when it happened. All right, because I would go on 3 times a day. So I was like Daniel praying. I would go on 3 times a day. I would talk about Conjure in the morning. I would give inspirational talk in the middle of the day. And then I would also go on astrology late at night. And that's just Periscope. I've got so much content in the Hoodoo Bible study on Facebook. I think for 3 years straight, I burnt myself out. I don't know when I'm talking about this, but it's true. I burnt myself out 3 years straight. All right. With very few exceptions. Every Wednesday night, I was in there 2 hours at least. Every Wednesday night, answering questions. We would literally post a question thread on Monday. And I would answer every one of those questions. If you got in between Monday and Wednesday, when it came to Bible Conjure, whatever you want to ask, bam, bam, bam. I give you book, chapter, verse, and rituals. And it's still there. So, Periscope, 500 free. Facebook, I don't know how many is on there. I'm sure at least 100 is on there because I've been doing it for 2 or 3 years. So 52 weeks. So at least 100 videos are on there. Will give you at least 200 hours worth. All right, free. Okay. Then YouTube. Just like I was on Facebook, I was on YouTube because I would do Facebook Wednesday and I would do YouTube on Thursday. Same regimen. And that stuff is still there on the Conjure Chronicles. If you had a guest come on, all again free. All right, I have more content out there for free than you'll ever be able to consume in your lifetime. What am I saying? I'm like Conjure Netflix because they just binge, and it's not banter. It's not alone for 3 hours talking about the price of tea in China. Right? Because I know with certainty what I'm on this planet to do. I know what my charge is. Without ambiguity, without question. And my work and my trail speaks to that. Alright? If you want something more advanced than what is out there for free, which is highly dense. Now, if you're looking for spells or per se, my YouTube really ain't for you. Okay? Because, I mean, who don't have a spell YouTube these days? So that's the only way that's the way people get subscribers on YouTube. If you're in the Conjure world, you do spell videos. You do spell videos. And I remember I went through that. If I was going to do that, my spirit would not let me do that. There's a couple on there. Maybe a handful of 10. Maybe. Of certain rituals. Because you can pick up any cookbook, but have you been to culinary school? That's where I was different at. I didn't teach you what, y'all know what to put in stuff. You got books on that. You got Catnip put out a book. Everybody got something on YouTube. They got so many books. Lucky Mojo done shitted up the whole place, and we say that here in the South. And so people have an encyclopedic idea of Conjure, but not a practical or an applicable one. All right? You need to understand not just the technology, but the science behind it. There's logic to it. I promise you there is. We aren't just all old black country bumpkins in the woods somewhere, digging in the dirt. So you wanted something a little bit more advanced than that. That brings me up to speed for what's going on next Friday. I started doing webinars. Okay? A year ago, 2018, November 2018 was when I did my first webinar. And to this day, it is still my highest requested webinar. All right. Another one that kind of put me on the spot, as it were, in that sphere, which is on curses. There's on curses. So we begin to do a webinar regularly. All right. All those webinars, which is a little bit more advanced than what I give out for free, you pay an entry ticket to that. It's still up on my website. You say, okay, I don't want the free stuff. I want something a little bit more advanced than that. All right. Get we call the Advanced Conjure Series. See, just very direct to the point, ain't it? Very Tarian. Cosmic.com/resources. All right. We got stuff on there. It's at least 2 hours of content per course. Normally it's about 3 plus supplemental material and extra videos or whatever. We got about 2 or 3 on there on Mojo Bags, spiritual attack. We got stuff on there for spiritual washes, baths and soaps and rinses and salts and things like that. We covered that. And I did that with one of my mentors, my bishop, Dr. Keone. Graced us in that one. We did one on protection. All right, defense, Guard 2019. All right, Master Dogon was with me on that one. We even talked about in that one how to create a psychic decoy. Many of you who are on social media, you're on social media and you're worrying about psychic vampires, and I can't focus when I come online, and people are just eating at me, and you may be highly empathic, highly sensitive or whatever, and it's driving you amok. You're on edge. All right. You need to create a psychic decoy. All right. The way a psychic decoy works is, if they are trying to draw from you, drain you, whatever, suck you dry, whatever the case may be, even if they have, hear me closely, even if they have personal concerns, tag locks, whatever you want to call them, of you, all right, and they try to send a charge through, let's say they have your hair, your nails, whatever, all right, and they try to send a charge through that to hit you, all right, it will divert to your decoy and leave you unscathed. All right, we covered that. That was my demonstration in the webinar on protection. You need to know that. Dogon talked about how to powerfully fix railroad spikes. It was very intense. Washes, protection, curses. We covered spiritual warfare. We covered spiritual attack. We covered how to work with the Psalms. We covered the 5 types of mastery. You got commanding, compelling, controlling, dominating, and influencing. Well, how they're all different, how to work them. We talked about another one of my, probably right behind curses, is Altars 101. All right, talking about how to set up your altars, how to work with your ancestors, how to get started. All right. What if you're on the go? Can you make it on the go? We cover all of that in detail with demonstration. All right. Man, there's so much that we put on there. I kind of lost track of everything we got on there. Oh yeah, yeah. Herbs. Obviously herbs and plants. 101. Okay, so there's a lot on there. All right. Maybe you say, I want more. Yet more. Right. I need something more advanced. All right. Now you're starting to teeter-totter around the master class level. I have some master class classmates in here, in my live here. That's about as far, or I should say, as close you're gonna get to me without being an apprentice of mine. In there, I do drop spells. I drop full rituals in there. If the ritual is 3 hours, I'm on there for 3 hours, showing you every detailed step on there. Many of them I'll do in front of you live, so you can actually ask questions and dialogue while I'm doing it. Why are you doing that? What is that again? What's that herb again? Whatever the case may be. We're in a series now on ointments. We've been in a series for about 2 or 3 months now. It's a really good series. They've been really loving it. They've been eating it up. We've been starting on working with dolls, doll baby fetishes, effigies, okay, and things like that. How much is your Patreon? Patreon begins at $10, which is the supporter level. Just basically says, Doc, God bless you for what you're doing. I want to give you $10 a month. You know, go have lunch on me, whatever. Take a load off. From there, when you actually start getting to the content, starts at $21 a month. All right, so range from $21 a month up to $75 a month. The $75 level, or we call the curator level, simply like. So when I started off with Patreon, and I had this idea of I'm gonna do all these demonstrations, right? And y'all know me, you know, when you demonstrate something before people, you can't do it in a microscope. You gotta do it somewhat on a larger scale. You know, you gotta scale up so you can see all the details and stuff. So here I am sitting around, and I got 15 money powders just taking up space. Taking up space. And I said, well, I mean, you could sell them. Yeah, I could sell them, but I mean, they could just go get the recipe themselves on Patreon. So there's no point in doing that. So I created the curator tier where whatever I make that month in the master class, I'll send you some of it. So I need to get some stuff. Yeah, if I showed y'all, just I done moved to a new, moved into another temple and still need more space. You can just say I went and picked up from Pop yesterday these old school candles here. And y'all see there's boxes. Other than again, these are the old school. See how big they are? All right, those are the old school candles. Okay, that actually did burn for 7 days. I mean, these things are so old you can just tell. Some of these are older than us. All right, some of these candles are the heat gap. This is the jinx removing. I got the 14-day. And I love me some 14-day candles. By the way, that's another thing. I got the candle chapters back up and running. Those of you who've been asking me about it. This is the 14-day do as I say candle. Yeah, those old 7-day candles. Yes, absolutely. So we got about 3 boxes that I picked up Wednesday yesterday. So you got that. You got tons of because I work these in a pot and I work those in a pot. Those the black muñecas. These are the red ones. The white ones are over there. Here's some work I got going on here. That spell I actually have recorded and it's going to be on Patreon. Now that thing, I had to give a disclaimer for that work. And that's not to be like, you know, oh, he's trying to be markety. No, I had to put a disclaimer on this work. This work is heavy work. And that's why I had to put it in Patreon, because I drop work like that in the public eye. Number one, somebody gonna be self-righteous about it. I can't believe you actually do stuff like that, and you should be ashamed of yourself, and this, that, and the other, and the third. And then you have the people who want to correct you and reprove you in the public eye, and then in their other account, their catfish account, in your DMs about work of the very same nature, you know. And so yeah, we used. I'll show a demo of the video on Instagram, probably tonight or tomorrow, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what that work consisted of. But I don't have a lot of space, what I'm saying. So that's why I have the curator too, to get y'all to have some of this stuff, because I make more. It's a Tarian thing. We tend to hoard. So I gotta move stuff out while I can, because it'll sit here, for a while. So I still got a whole deer somewhere in here. There it is. A whole deer I ain't worked on yet. Okay, so the apprenticeships are up. All right. This is what I tell folks. Tell them like this. It is an investment. Okay. You gotta be serious, because I'm serious about what I'm doing. Okay. Oh yeah. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Preferences of people of color. Yeah. I prefer people of color to teach Conjure too. Okay. Do I eliminate non-people of color? No. See, people want to hear what they want to hear. Oh, no, see, you don't want white people. You don't like white. I didn't say nothing along the lines. I gave my preference. Just because I have a preference for people who look like me does not mean I have a prejudice people who don't. Why? Because I know that this tradition, all right, has ancestral roots and it's tied to lineage. It's just pure point blank in a discussion. That's why I leave it up to the spirits at the end of the day. They get the ultimate veto. If they want you, who am I to say different? I shut my mouth, we keep it moving. Like I said, if they say no, I don't ask questions. If they say yes, I don't ask questions. All right. So bear that in mind. Speaking of webinars, next Friday, Passion 2020. I've been asked and axed, almost beat upside the head. I swear when I woke up with pitchforks and torches outside my door about if I was going to do a webinar on love magic. Let me tell you why I haven't talked about love magic in the public forum. Same reason what y'all are seeing now. I started talking about love magic on Periscope. And this is what happened. Of course, being bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, young and new to the internet world of spirituality. And at that time, the sector of Periscope I was in was very much so new agey, very much so white middle class. All right. Sector of Periscope. Okay. So when I would talk about love magic, I can always kind of gauge my audience, but when I bring this up, because when I was on Periscope, I began to get a lot of pushback on the basis of they want to throw morals at me, they want to throw ethics at me, tying somebody down and binding somebody up, and this, that, and the other, and the third and the fourth. And I got a lot of, well, child, if it take all that, get you a new man, man. I'd just be done with him. If I gotta go through all of this and put you in a jar and tie you down, and child, give me somebody else. I ain't got time for all of that. And I hear all of that. I had no problem hearing any of that. But when it became a part of an issue with me, and they began to weaponize those opinions against me from an elite place, here's what that ilk of people did not realize about me. And they weren't part of my culture, so it was my own fault. I don't just have clients and customers and people I minister to in the States. Thank God. Let's open up those doors around, or I should say across the seas. I can say around the world. I'm not like in every continent. I'm not that big. Okay. But I've got people in some other areas that are not the United States. All right. And you know what's interesting? We have the freedom here. We can just say, you know what? It's not working out. I really don't want it. I'm wanting somebody else. But there are other parts of the world where a woman can make those drop of the hat decisions. Okay. Because of the reaction, being ostracized, maybe even penalized, might even be in fear of her life or her children's life. All right. If her husband leaves her, let's say she's got all daughters, that's it in many cases. Their father may or may not bring them back in the house. They're left to their own devices. Okay. If they have a son, he might be disowned by his father, cut out of the inheritance in the family line. All right. So in that culture, this is the kind of culture that Conjure comes out of, you see. Okay. To tie that man, keep that man, because he meant the family unit would stay. There's a level of security and safety, which is any parent's primary objective, is the safety of their house and their children. So for we were here in the West to say, oh, try to get another man, don't take all of that, is very, very insensitive. And elitist even. So keep that at the door. So when you don't have certain purviews and certain previews, you speak from your experience of all that you know. All right. It's easy for you to say you shouldn't tie a man down. Well, you got your pick of the litter. Other people don't. All right. And it's from these cultures like that, like my culture, that gave rise to works like, why do you think we have spells like mastery, commanding, compelling, dominating, controlling, tying, binding? So that the powerless, the oppressed, the suppressed, the subjugated, the marginalized, the ostracized, the penalized can have a level playing field. It was that same kind of work that when people of color would go into areas and the prejudice and the racism was such that you could not get a job, they would go to the worker to make them give them a job. You put them in your shoe and you walk them down and you keep walking them and you keep walking them and you keep walking them. You have them, the paper wear out, put other paper in there and keep walking them again. All right. See, while you're living in ivory towers, you can make these very broad statements about things. But when you cussing and fussing, scraping and scratching, and you down to nothing and nobody got your back but the wall, you do what you got to do. Old folk call it helping yourself. You help yourself. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. All right. Before people want to come back and try to rebut me on love magic. All right, but you still wear your love potion number 9 perfume, but ain't none of my business. That ain't none of my business at all. That's between you and JC Penney. And nothing to do with me. But that's all I gotta say about that. All right. So I'm excited about Passion 2020. I get a lot of this off my chest. I really get to give out some really good love work. One of the big questions I got, and it's interesting, that I got this question, was from people of the queer community, are you going to have something for us? And I was, well, absolutely. So I'm saying that right now. It was like they were shocked and surprised. I was like, everybody, come on. Y'all can eat at the table. What you talking about? What do you mean? Yeah, you know. It was funny because it was kind of like shy how you wanted to ask. It was very tough. Like, am I following you right? Like, yeah, man, yeah. Okay, come on. Absolutely. So, I'm excited about that. We've got the link to sign up is in my bio description. All right. If you wanted to get last month's webinar with Moses on road opening work, had an incredible time. It's up and ready, y'all. We've got there was a lot of extra material with that one after the webinar. There's at least like 11, I think, at least 11 other files that went with that. So that is up for purchase. You can get that in my under my bio. The one for they've been. They say it was. He just said, I just saw the picture and I was stirred up. Just what y'all got going on in there. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, imagine being in the video, right? So, and then Friday, next Friday rather, the 7th of February, right? Just enough time you can do your work for Valentine's. It's gonna be an incredible Valentine's because Valentine falls on Venus Day this year. On a Venus Day. Speaking of which is why I had to go to Pop and get all these darn candles here because we got tons and tons of, no, that's dragon's blood. That's dragon's blood. What is this? This is that's the root candle. Hi John. Here we go. There it is. So we got that's for the lodestones. Okay. So what are these boxes, y'all? Hold on. So I can move this on over. Oh yeah, so I got the 14-day do as I say. And I got the 14-day big black snake. Big black snake. I don't say people can work. I don't get how you can fix a black snake candle and don't have no black snake in there, like black snake skin, a black snake eggshells. I mean, something. It say right, the big old picture right on front of the. People like, I don't know what to dress my candles with. There's so much stuff in the market. I said, well, the thing say snake. You know, it says snake. I would start there. You know, I don't know how to use that Bible Conjure. I'm trying to get me a job. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm trying to get me a job. You might want to start with the book called J.O.B. Here we go. Oh, that's a book called. That's a book in the Bible called J.O.B. I was like, I would just kind of start there, you know. It said, it depends on what kind of snake you look at. I mean, especially down here in the South. You used to be outside long enough, you can find a snake. Probably not so much now because it's a little bit cold. That's why you get them. That's why you get them around late spring, summertime, and then save up. But of course, we got a lot of these. The Chuparosa candle. I'm not gonna say what you're putting in these because then they're gonna want to ban me on Instagram. But let me tell you, man. Theta's doing it. Her oils are no joke. She got it from her mama. I'm serious. She really did. So we got a lot of these because we're going to be doing a group working, a group ritual kind of thing, leading up to Valentine's Day and all of that. So we got one of these. See what is this? The secret prayer. When's the last time y'all seen one of these? When's the last time y'all seen a secret prayer candle? Y'all remember the candle? You can write on the candle, the tape. They got a little white spot. You can, no, that's old school. There, they don't do that no more. That's old school. We'll put the petition for you in case you don't have no paper. We'll write it right there on the candle. But so yeah. So any questions on any of that? I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So the link for signing up for the apprenticeship is in my bio. The link to purchase last month's webinar is in my bio. The link to get the ticket for next Friday's Love webinar is in my bio. If you need spiritual intervention, need a consultation, that's in my bio. If you want to follow me on YouTube, if you want to join our Hoodoo Bible Study Facebook group, if you want to check out my advanced Conjure series, that is on my bio also. Did you save the apprenticeship live? I don't follow. Next Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to about 9. We'll have my good friend Rain. She's actually the first person I bought something from on Instagram, and I got a whole master root from her. So you're looking for whole master, looking for whole roots and stuff. Tell her Doc sent you. She'll give you the root doctor special. You know, most people don't ask for the whole root. Most people know how to work a whole root. They'll get the piece of it, whatever. But she had whole master root, and some other things there as well. Yeah, that's this live right here. Yeah, I'm saving it. Yeah, I will keep it pinned. And I'll probably download it and they let me download again. I don't know what happened, and put it up on YouTube. All right. Once again, final call. Any questions? I think I was quite comprehensive. I've elucidate, elaborate, pontificate, and delineated long enough on here. I got some work that's been staring me down for the past 2 days I need to get to. All right. I hold you all in the light of God that never fails. God bless you all forever.